Next, one of our university vice-chancellors says institutions are in such financial trouble that tuition fees need to rise by thousands of pounds a year just to cover the costs. Professor Sasha Roseneal at the University of Sussex also says there's been an enormous crash in international student numbers since a ban was introduced on bringing family members to live with them in the UK. Jadzia Samuel has tonight's special report.
The University of Sussex says they are at crisis point. They've made £44 million worth of cuts to projects like improving infrastructure and buildings. Now, Vice-Chancellor Sasha Roseneal says tuition fees must go up to protect higher education across the country.
The fee was originally set at £9,000 in 2012. It was lifted to £9,250 in 2017. It hasn't gone up since then. So effectively, we're losing about £3,500 on each home undergraduate we teach. That's the gap between what it costs to teach and support those students and what we're receiving in the fee. And that adds up. So cumulatively across the UK, across UK universities, we're losing about £1.7 billion a year.
You mentioned wanting to increase tuition fees. Do you worry this will put students off actually coming to university in the first place?
Tuition fee debt does get written off if it's not paid back after a certain point anyway. Universities are in such financial trouble, we need to put the fees up at the moment whilst we think again about how best to support universities and students.
But students on campus today say higher fees would be a barrier. The universities are saying about £3,500 per student per year it would have to go up by. Would you still be wanting to come to university?
No, probably not. I think, yeah. I don't think most people would as well, with that much of an increase.
I don't know, because the thing is, most of the learning is off campus. Like 90% of it is actually reading, so you're really paying to teach yourself.
The university says changes to international student visas is also having a financial impact. As of January, foreign students are no longer able to bring their spouse or children with them while they study.
The impact of that has been an enormous crash in the number of international students coming to the UK. And so just basically kind of overnight, we've lost vast numbers of students and their fees, which were basically subsidising UK students.
With an international reputation, British universities are still popular.
I chose Sussex specifically because of its sustainability projects, and also specifically because the UK is pro-sustainability.
So England was because of the reputation, honestly. I've heard a lot about the UK and how good the studying is.
I thought Brighton was a good choice because the campus is big, and instead of studying London with small campuses, I prefer to feel like the uni life in here, so I chose Sussex.
Analysts say higher fees for English students is the most likely way that funding gaps will be plugged.
Students and families understand that slightly higher tuition fees are likely to mean a better university experience for students. Universities are hurting. It's a very high proportion of universities. And if we truly want to claim, as we do, that we have a properly world-class university system in the UK, then policymakers do need to grip this issue.
In a statement, the Department for Education said they're dedicated to creating a sustainable higher education funding system that supports students. And they're committed to reviewing funding. But the Vice-Chancellor here fears if the government doesn't step in soon, universities will face more cuts, with courses lost, and students the ones who suffer. Jadzia Samuel, BBC South East Today, Brighton.